so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now.
Welcome, everybody, to a very musical episode of VFX and Chill. First off, that intro relates to what we are going to be teaching you today. And second of all, I am very sad to share that, unfortunately, the family, action movie family has had colds this week. And unfortunately, James woke up hit the hardest this morning.
Aww.
And so they will not be joining us today. But we still do definitely want to make sure that we get an action movie family episode in the future as soon as we have another Friday off of school like today was. So we will find out that and try to get things working. So anyway, we're sorry to say. And yeah, we still love you guys.
That's a bummer. I hope, no, we wish James full recovery, of course. And everybody else.
Yeah, of course. Obviously. We don't want him to always have a cold.
I love the pause afterward. Like everybody was considering whether or not they agreed with me.
I mean, I think he's kind of a good guy. I kind of want him to be fine.
Yeah.
Kyle, know that it's not a hand puppet. Just you wait.
Just you wait for this episode with Raptors. So I'm a little thrown off because I was planning on doing a little bit of cleanup for the first half of the show while we were talking to your family, and we're going to jump right in now. So we don't have a really structured agenda. So I don't. Hash, you did the most of the.
So maybe I'll start with. It all starts with Sinead O'Connor, and let me see if I can pull that up on my screen over here.
Well, I don't know if it starts with that. So what happened?
Well, that's a good point. How
with the Tom Cruise movie
Seth?
trailer is what it started with.
Yes, so way back when. So we got our account back. I'm sure we talked about this. Is wonderful. We talked about this last week. Very exciting. But wit Raptors. It's no H in with. So Hashi, you had started doing some experiments with Move by Maxon and getting the you tracked your face. This has been a long week if that was the beginning of this week.
It's been a big week. Well, honestly, I think what had happened a couple weeks ago, we did an episode where we were in the quantum realm as little mini MODOKs, and Seth figured out how to bring in the geometry of a Moves by Maxon performance and replace our little CG head versions so we could have this funky little intro, which was pretty fun. Let me see if I have
I'm pulling up the Twitter stuff.
Oh, perfect. So yeah.
Well, the intro, if you want to see the intro, that I believe was Boy, it was so good, wasn't it? It's offline.
Good.
My Dropbox
good memories.
files.
It was quantum realm. We got to zoom in, Seth. But anyway, if you're not familiar, Moves by Maxon is an app for your iPhone that you can capture facial performances and also body performances. And you can also, I believe, scan objects, which I've actually not tried in this yet. But I think
that only works if you have a MacBook.
Okay, so this is all good to know. So I think the way this unfolded is we knew that Moves by Maxon was a way that you could film your face, performing a little thing and recording a little bit. And Seth and I did this for a Moves by MODOK episode where we performed with our faces and then attached them to some 3D models and made them float around, which was kind of cool. One of the frustrations I had about Moves by Maxon and trying to use it in the past was I would bring this in and I would try to look to see what tracks were associated with it because I thought, cool, it's a bunch of data capture. Maybe we can do something really neat with it because the less you can work, the better, I always feel. So, yeah, yeah, so this led to us realizing that maybe there's a way to, I don't know if we started with the Raptors or if we started with your movie, Seth.
Started with Raptors. So the first thing, well, we were working on my movie, on a shot from it. Sorry.
I think both
You're
Seth
on.
and I are eating
In your lunch.
today.
We're a little
Like
behind today.
last episode, we were all drinking. Today,
Yep.
today we're all eating.
So this is what you did. Like, well, we spent a little bit of time working on an asset for my movie, and then this does relate because we're one of the monsters in my movie, one of the characters, one of the creatures we're using are the same workflow that you and I have been using for our Raptors on these shots in my movie. And so, funny enough, this research into and this R&D with the Raptor and with my movie kind of overlap. So naturally, when things are getting frustrating with the movie, or just when it's Tuesday, we'll just decide, let's work on Raptor things. And so you pulled this up and did this facial performance with Moves by Maxon and brought it into cinema and figured out with the Espresso how to connect all of these pose morphs to each other. And good God, it's so exciting to watch. And you then, I remember it was the next day, I believe, after work, I was sitting, it was the end of the day, I'm watching Shark Tank with my kids, and you posted like a slightly more advanced version of this. And
I think it really was just this that we came up with during the day. And then later in the day, you sent me a message that was like, oh my God, pointed at a TV.
I just thought, I was sitting there and
just
I was like,
urgently in all caps.
I was like, I know that this works in AR. I know this works with
11
Apple's
PM.
AR kit. So I assume it needs the infrared, because it only uses the front camera. It won't use the back camera. And then I was finally just like, I wonder. And I turned and pointed it, and it gets to Mark Cuban's face. And suddenly I see on my phone screen wireframes show up on Cuban's face. And I wasn't able to get up and go to my, what?
And exclusively Mark Cuban.
Only Mark Cuban, weirdly enough. So I can't get up and go to my computer because it's family time, and I've promised that I'm done working for the day. And so I'm freaking out. I just go into Slack and I'm like, point at a TV. And then you like an hour later, you send this back. And I am still blown away by this thing's existence and how it looks. It will not play right now for me, and I don't know why.
Twitter? We just blame Twitter.
Just plain Twitter being Twitter.
So we could just blame Twitter.
Blame Twitter.
Exactly. Right. Nice, I'm picking it up.
We'll just go.
You could just download the file and play it. It's in our Slack.
It is in our Slack, isn't it? Where is it?
Yeah, it's in our Slacks.
Here we
We've
go.
got Baloney in our Slacks.
Download. Save.
Look at that. Because this is really best experienced as the full,
Now, Hashi, how did you decide on this clip to puppet?
I'll explain.
So you send this, you post this, and I am like, oh my God, we've broken new ground. When you see the Raptors' eyes close, suddenly this thing that we've been manipulating for our own good has gained sentience, has come alive. I am very scared. Right here, I am scared for our future now. I mean, look at this. It's compelling. It's touching. It's moving me emotionally. Oh my God, Hush.
I mean, yeah, great song. So I believe that to start out, I just looked up speech. And because I figured I would find someone delivering a speech emphatically. And so, I think I started with Charlie Chaplin from The General or something was a thing that came up, and I clicked on that, and that one facial tracked pretty well. And then I don't remember. I think that it was literally in the suggested videos on the side.
Just popped up. Oh my God.
Because I wanted a like full screen face. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that video is a full screen face the whole time. And so clicked over to it. It's almost an unbroken performance aside from a few weird crossfadey things. But I pointed my phone at the TV and it captured this facial performance, and we were able to transfer it to the Raptor, which is something that...
What a sentence.
Yeah, I mean, we've wanted to do forever, you know? They were missing some genetic components, and so we've replaced those with strands from a Sinead O'Connor, and it comes alive.
Okay, we've reached the point now where we've become so preoccupied with whether or not we can. And I actually am going to implore us to just keep going, because I think nothing bad ever happens from continuing on the path we're on.
So that is all a very long-winded intro to the idea that Moves by Maxon is this app that's been sleeping somewhere in the like on our phones and like at the company. And I knew that it must be powerful, but I had no idea what you could do with it. And the last couple of times I tried, I was too ignorant with how cinema worked to be able to get access to any of this data. And finally, because of the poking and prodding we've done for exploration on Sketch, for Seth's movie, and for Raptors and raptorizing things, we have ended up here. So
I am so excited.
Yeah.
So you've been
process.
doing this work right in front of me throughout all week. And I've been, as usual, not paying attention at all and focused only on the task I was doing on my computer. So I'm very excited to actually learn and try some things on the episode today. If you'll teach me
Hashi,
again.
Did you add some more mouth movement? Because with today's show intro, it looked like you had some more mouth moving on today's intro.
Let me open up that cinema project
smushy.
right now.
Well, Hashi's also had a couple meetings with our, actually skilled, smart trainers at Maxon since he made the Sinead O'Connor video. Yeah. So he's becoming more powerful.
There were a bunch of things that I could not figure out how to make more user friendly. And so yesterday we had Athanasios Pozensis stop by our virtual office. That's the nose man. And he learned me good in a bunch of things related to espresso that I did not understand before. And let's see, if you want to switch over to me, I can pull up. This is the, let me see, I'm going to turn off the music for now. But this is my, what played during our intro today, I Will Survive. And so now...
Which we have to play as our outro because it's so beautiful. Lovely lighting too, by the way.
Thank you. So here is the pure performance that is being transferred to our Raptor. And look at this playback. This is so great. It's wonderful. So what's really nice about this is there are several things going on here. Now, when you animate a model in Cinema 4D, there are a couple of ways that it can be done. One is like a rigged skeleton. You can see that kind of in the X-ray view of the Raptor here. That is what Seth and I have been working with in general. In fact, I can probably open up what we usually have. We go to our Raptor assets folder, which I, again, just love that we have. And
it's frightening in there, though, I will say.
So we have our default head. So every But with Raptors begins with this default head. And actually, this one says default head
Bingo.
with neck.
Dino DNA.
And what that means is this particular version of the Raptor has it so you can grab the head, and as you move it, there's some IK going on with the neck. So you get the neck animation for free, which was a new innovation that we just came up with. And we learned almost how to do it a little while ago, and then I'd sort of forgotten about it. And this is still probably not the best way to do it. But this is, to animate one of these, you basically had to keyframe every little bit of what you see, every head turn or the neck turning around and things like that to get all of the specific poses. We had even added in these eyelid shapes that we could, whoops, that's the left one. These little eyelids that we could animate rotating closed and stuff, or a couple of specific Raptor ones where we wanted the eyes to close, but everything had to be done very manually. And honestly, this has probably pushed us to animate stuff more than we ever have before. And Seth, I am really proud that both of us went through a good number of hand keyframed animations. I think my favorite of yours may be the Scream, like the Matthew Lillard in Scream.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites
performance. Too. It's really good.
That and all of the
really
Glorious Raptors ones, because there were shots with several of them in there, and I liked how the screams in those came out. Yours is clearly every single one of them, but God, yours are so brilliant because they're not reliant on performance, really. They're just about reveals and twists and moments, and that's what's so good about them. Oh, man. All of them, dude.
Well, I mean, I also like the little Easter eggs. Like in the Never Gonna Give You Up, you have the banner falling down that says, like the one in Jurassic Park.
Everything in the Never Gonna Give You Up is perfect.
Singing in the Rain one, you've got the Dock This Way sign touching the background.
I didn't notice until someone...
jokes in there, Richard.
I didn't notice the dock sign until last week, ashamedly. It was the first time I saw it. It's so good.
It's a lot of fun. Wait, let's see. I'm opening up. I forgot. This one is a larger file because I've baked it already. But here's a couple episodes ago, we did a little bit of a Mandalorian exploration. And during this episode, we learned about blend shapes. And this is the other way that you can animate things. Post-morphs. So check this out. So with just a couple of little tweaks, this isn't motion capture. This is keyframed, but it's keyframed in a really fun way. It's just the face has these 4 little sliders, and I might have baked this copy. No. Oh, there are 2 copies in here. Let me delete. Which one got? Okay, here. All right, so here's what we got. So we were able to make blend shapes. So you can have like a dial that is mouth open, a dial for blink, a dial for the ears drooping, and an additional shape which was just sort of bring the lips together, because I found that you could get a pretty good combination that made it look like Baby Yoda was delivering the lines that were necessary. If you could open the mouth up and down, and you could occasionally make the lips pucker in a little bit. So this was a weird process of discovery that ended up working pretty well in our, I rendered that out somewhere. So this was the final result of our Mandalorian. This is like
it's so good.
Teen Grogu, sort of like in the Guardians of the Galaxy when Groot's a teen. This is, I think, when Grogu goes through the teen, like, curious about the world phase. So anyway, between these 2 things, I realized that there's a lot of ways that you can animate cool stuff in After Effects in Cinema 4D. So let me pull up the app that we've been talking about here. It is called Moves by Maxon, and I'll open up that first Raptor performance you were talking about. So I went up to my extensions and then Moves by Maxon. That's the little face right there. And
just as a side note, for those of you who are interested in learning more about this yourself, there is a lovely link in the chat.
Ooh, perfect. So what I did just before this was, you could, if you can go to the larger camera view of us, I open up my cool little app on the phone here, and you basically just say, I want to do a face capture. And then it brings up the camera like this. It's showing that off. And we learned something really cool, which is that if you're pointed at a screen, I don't know if you can see that at all, but it is putting a mesh on my performance like this. And let's do one from scratch. Seth and Michael, what should this one do? What should we do? Or audience, if you have a suggestion.
Are you pointing it at your face or the screen?
I was pointing it at my face.
Yeah.
All right, chat. What would you like Hashi to do for our bespoke face capture in today's episode? Chat is your time to chat up. The idea is there's over 100 of you on the various channels, so we should get at least one decent suggestion out of the 100 plus of you that are watching.
And while we're waiting on that, Hashi, I'm just designing a logo for that Mando shot.
Oh, thank you.
You did. You're welcome. Let's see. Anyway.
Well, we've got one suggestion has popped in already. Vorpal Edge Productions is wanting Hashi to do some yodeling. Chris Vranos wants Hashi to do the What is Love head bob. JC Tecklenburg wants that Bill Clinton
Who's
line.
in the house? JC Tecklenburg.
I would like to also let people know that besides being a great inspiration for Seth singing that song, JC's got family that makes some lovely bourbon cream.
Jesus' family makes lovely bourbon cream?
Oh, no, sorry. Tecklenburg's.
Jesus Christ, Tecklenburg. Love the guy.
Yeah. I do too. Sandro Sanacoti. Sorry, I was pausing because I was trying to think of how to pronounce that, and I'm pretty sure I did it wrong. Sanacoti? Anyway, is upvoting the What is Love head bob. No one has endorsed the Bill Clinton line yet.
It feels like, I felt like I Will Survive has some of that, but yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So what is the? So I've got my app open to face capture side, and what's the? This is basically going to be just
It's the one of all things. It's like the one thing we could keyframe so easily.
Yeah, you just need to do it once and repeat.
Everybody?
There you go. You're giving it some tongue too. This is exciting.
Funky thing. So
does Moves by Maxon capture tongue action?
There's a tongue out value that it gets, but I have not linked it to anything yet. I tried linking it to the tongue for the other Raptor, but I didn't remember looking into the tongue numbers.
Moves by Maxon needs more tongue. That's what we're coming to here today.
So I'll jump back in here to my Moves by Maxon interface, and I will hopefully be able to just send that right over.
I don't know why. For some reason, I feel like there's numbers and port numbers being shown on that UI, and so I don't like showing it on screen because I feel like that's something people.
Well, you're not on my local network, so that number will do nothing for you.
All right. Then here you go. Everyone, hackers, hack away.
Okay, so is this
Out Jogging Pictures was requesting the Jerry Maguire You Complete Me scene. That's already been done by Raptors. Just hand keyframed.
My goodness. And that, I think, was still in the era where we were just reusing the animation that came on the Raptor.
Oh, yeah.
And just trying to find different sections of it that kind of worked.
That you would be surprised, everyone, how long that lasted. Like how long we were able to ride just the animation that came with that Raptor of him just looking around.
You can see it on Blue Mesh's Sketchfab side. All right, so I've just
I like that they named their whole username off of the one model they did that we love so much.
The Blue Mesh.
Do they know? Do they know about us yet? We should make contact.
Someone should tell them. Enya Wedblack wants Hashi to rap the fast part of Rap God by, and then they clarify by Eminem. Thank you. Big Rock DJ wants anything by Jim Carrey. Excellent idea. Nick Smith says, how about the Mia Goth smile crying at the end of Pearl?
Wow.
So,
okay.
More suggestions, but you've already done it.
So one cool thing, and I skipped right over it, was that once we're here and you import the performance that you want, like this, there's a button down here when you have the object selected to say set timeline to frame count. And so now my timeline is the frame count of this whole performance, and we can watch it like this. Exciting, right?
I'm waiting for the faces. There we go. Ah.
So this is what you get, which is pretty exciting. And so at first I remembered thinking, oh, there's got to be a bunch of data in here, and I was trying to like show the tracks and stuff, and I was seeing that it felt like there was absolutely nothing. And I'm used to being able to somehow like go into here and see stuff, and I didn't see any data. And I said, like, why isn't that accessible? I want to be able to do things with it. And then I found out that it's because everything is stored here when you have the object selected under blend shapes. And right here, there are all these attributes. And if I play this, you can see all of these numbers doing all of these crazy blend shapes. Like, look how many there are for the mouth. There's mouth, close, funnel, pucker, left, right, smile, left, right, frown, left, right, dimple, stretch, roll, shrug, press, lower lip, upper lip. A bunch of these percentages all contribute to different transformations to a face. So what I wanted to figure out is, how do you port this over to something else? So, for example, let's say we had this exciting thing. We're gonna make a little mini model right here.
Excellent.
This is going to be a
cube.
This is going to be a cube head, and we're just going to duplicate this little jaw bone. All right.
Excellent.
So, whoops. Wait, why didn't that?
Because it's a parametric object, you can use there is a capsule to move anchor points around, but it'd be the easiest thing to do real quick would be what you just did. Or nestling it in a null object would also be useful.
All right, so I'll make this a little bit bigger so it has a bit of like a cool like Iron Giant chin thing. So what I was curious about is, because we had a physical rig, which means that to animate our raptor, we have to go over to it and go like blah, 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 blah. But the blend shapes are this weird other thing. So how do we do that? The first thing that we recognized was that you could group, you could have this group that was whatever your geometry was. And if you opened up the Moves by Maxon thing, there's this Moves group that has everything under it. And then there's the face mesh. And the face mesh is floating around the way my head was moving around in the camera. And also, if you click on the Moves object, you can also go to the object and say, where is it? Why am I forgetting where this is, Seth?
What are we looking for?
Oops.
We could help you look if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, tell us what it is.
Don't move the head around.
Yeah, it is in the set a neutral frame, I believe.
Wait, where are we?
Okay, you're on that.
Is it on the face mesh?
No, it's on the green
it's on
guy.
the.
There we go. You'll see it right down here. Rotation and offset. Uncheck offset.
Oh, there we go. All right, yeah. So you can uncheck these values right here. And now if I play, my face is totally still. It's just this data.
Not creepy at all.
Not creepy at all.
Oh, so you got offset for position and rotation for,
Rotation.
I guess, rotation.
Yeah.
So
it's... Oh, I guess you get full control. Nice.
Yeah.
And I love that. So the first way that we came up with to do this was we recognized that this was moving around. So we thought, what if we put the whole object of... oh, whoops. What did I do? Oh, they all have that texture. Oh, that's horrifying. No, let's not have it be that. I don't like that at all.
My God, you're multiplying.
That's too much. Okay. So you could, parent anything to this mesh if you want, as the simplest method of just, look, I could put this right here, and now if I play, it moves around where the head was moving and looks where the head was looking. So check it out. So now we've got...
Sorry. That's fun.
So pretty funny. That's pretty great. And then the other day, when we were talking to smarter people, Noseman pointed out, you don't need to do that, because what if it's a different size? What if you don't want to? What if you are dealing with a skeleton and things like that? And so we learned that the very first step to all this is to use a constraint, which I was not very familiar with using. So you can go over to this the whole group, and I'm going to go to rigging tags, constraint, and then under constraint, I'm going to check transform, because I want it to copy transformation properties of that mesh. So they'll be linked instead of having to be parented that way. So I can keep everything nice and tidy and separate. So if I use a constraint tag for the position, then I can say, what layer am I using? And under these transform properties, under the offset, you can say, maintain the original position. So I can check that I want this to stay over here. That way I can maybe see this performance and see how it's translating. And I want it to constrain to all of the types of transformations possible. Except for scale, really. I don't really need the scale. So I have position and rotation checked. And right now, my nulls, I feel like that's a good rotation point for the base of this skull. So we're just going to go to this tag, and right here where it says target, we're going to drag the face mesh into there. And as soon as I play, look at this. Now we have one thing copying another.
There's two of them in the car bopping. Nice.
Isn't that cool? So now we've got this, which is really exciting. So this is just a constraint tag, and you could use that for a bunch of things. And it's one of the few things that in our new exciting Raptor setup that we actually have to do manually.
Now, in the Raptor setup, did you just put one of the joints did it with one of the joints, or did you actually...
So right now the whole group is moving.
Out Jogging Pictures is asking, can this work for a side profile or only a straight on shot of the face? Well, first of all, if you're doing this thing of acting, you can move the camera around in Cinema 4D. So you should record your performance straight on so you get all the nuances of the facial movement, and then just move your 3D camera to the side. But if you're trying to acquire a performance from someone else's performance, like pointing at a TV screen, I don't know, would this work for us? How far to the side
it
can you go?
loses it after about 60 degrees is what I would say. I think it's as soon as it loses enough detail on this side of the face to track, it'll say, hey, face the camera more. And this is the reason why Avatar or any major production uses a reference face cam that's right there, so you can see all of the data and position on the face. So, our free app does, the best version of that it can. So
keep in mind, there is a full body capture. Sandro mentions in the chat, there's a full body capture in Moves as well. We're just working on just the face, where you get the nuanced facial expressions. But if you want like dancing and all the good kinds of angles, you can do the full body capture.
Exactly. All right. So this is really neat. It's a constraint tag, and you can use it for, like if you wanted to use your head to pilot a little ship flying through a canyon, you could totally do that. If you just need a little bit of motion that feels lively and whatever, motion capture your head doing it, and you'll get this amazing captured wiggle that is more organic and realistic than other things. So very, very cool. This is step one. Now, the second thing that we had to figure out was, how do we make it so when I open my mouth like that, let me find a better moment of when I start opening my mouth. Okay, here. Yeah, here we go. So now I'm dialing over to a frame where I know that my mouth is wide open, and I want this cube to rotate because my mouth is open. So the way we're going to do that is with Espresso. And if you like expressions in After Effects, which we really do here, this is basically the Cinema 4D version of it. And I was not very familiar with how this worked. I had seen Noseman do some amazing stuff when we were working on a short for Venom that I don't know why I didn't get finished. Someone
I forget.
Dropped the ball there. So I'm going to create a new null object, because it doesn't matter where your Espresso tag is. It's expressions that live within this project file, which is really cool. So we'll call this the control. And then To it, we will add a programming tag, Espresso.
Now, it may be a little scary when you first see it, but I think Espresso is better for visual artists than expressions in After Effects, in as much as it's visual. You can watch the flow of information go, because you're connecting points to, you're connecting nodes to nodes, and it's a flow of information. So you can actually more visually see what's happening. Whereas expressions is just text, just blocks of text, no visual way to connect what is driving what. Whereas in Espresso, things that are driving other things are connected by lines. It's lovely.
It is really lovely. So I was really confused when I first got here because I didn't know how to put stuff in here. I realized that you could right-click and then you can see all of these little drop-downs and things, but I did not know what they meant. I was not familiar with the language or anything. And so luckily, we found out that it's much more visual and drag-and-drop based than I thought. So, for example, we want the blend shape that is coming from this object right here. Let me rename this face, just for simplicity, because this is the thing that had the blend shapes on it as part of the property. So if I were to drag face to there, look at that. It's got a little box for the face, a little node. So then I can, the other thing you can do is when you have these blend shapes revealed like this, I can say, look, here's my jaw open amount. I can drag this right over to this red swatch. So all the blue swatches are inputs and all the reds are outputs. It's like a physics diagram for temperature flow or something. But I can just click and drag that over to red here. And now you'll see it's added an extra node right here to link this jaw open amount to something else. Now,
you can do a little port added without you having to do any menus. You just drag it and drop it right on there.
Dragged and dropped. And if you wanted to do this without having to go over here for some reason and just clicking and dragging this, you can also click on this red square and you can see basic properties, all these other kinds of things. You can do a global matrix of all of the transform properties, or you could go to like this one, blend shapes, and then it has all of the blend shapes organized nicely. So I could have said jaw open right here. You've got jaw forward, jaw left, jaw right, jaw open, and jaw rule.
Yeah, there it is.
So we did not make that joke at all this week while we were playing with this a lot over and over again. But so check this out. Yeah, drag the face in, drag the jaw open over here. And now the thing that we want this to control is this object over here. So just like we had said before, you could drag this cube object to here. I actually don't remember if you go to the coordinates of it, you'll find that I want to control the pitch of it right here. So I think that I can just grab the pitch here. Oh no, I've got to...
You need the object first, then the property.
The object first. Okay, so we'll drag our cube over here, and now we're going to grab the pitch for it, and we're going to put that on the blue tab because we want to be affecting it. We want it to be the input. Now, if I just link this to this, which is really cool, you just click and drag like that. Look at that. Now, this looks like it's correct at the moment, but I'm going to play, and it's likely not correct yet. And that's because of a little thing that we all love from math class, which is degrees to radians. So let me see what's happening here.
Well, the rare case where it works great.
That works too. That works.
It's done.
Almost perfect.
Look at that happy stapler.
Look at this.
This is a new show we're pitching. Hashi and the Stape. It's just so great.
Stapler remover. Look at this. So here we have just created our very first, very simple Espresso group, and it was so easy.
But Hashi, what if I want the mouth to be open more when it's supposed to be fully open? Like this thing, when it opens wide, it opens real wide. What could you possibly do for that?
Well, luckily, Espresso, just like expressions, have a bunch of different things that you could do, because this is a little flow data that's between 0 and 1 are the properties it'll give you for the mouth open. So the jaw open can only be 0 when it's all the way closed and 1 when it's all the way open. But it's turning that into a rotation right now. So that's a little bit weird. So it's rotating in, I'm going to get the math wrong, it's doing radians, not degrees, right? So it's converting 0 to 1 to rotate this 1 radian, which is what, a sixth of the 60 degrees? I don't know.
I mean, it works out pretty good for yeah.
This does happen to work. With the Raptor, if you open its jaw that much, you get you're in for trouble. So here's let me freeze transform, which is another thing that I learned and I didn't know the other day. Our Raptor came in and we've modified it and squished it into this position, which we consider default. But these are what the transform properties look like. They are all these ridiculous numbers over here. But I did not know what this whole freeze transform thing under is for. And what it is you can say freeze all, and it transfers that info down here to remember it, so it knows that it was rotated that way, but it'll give you fresh numbers to work with.
Which is great. When you have your things set where you want them to be, and this is going to be your default, you don't want it to be all kinds of wacky, crazy numbers. You want to be able to just set everything to 0 to make it go back to defaults. And now you can. When you freeze the transformations, now all you have to do is set everything to 0, and you're back at your default state. It's great.
I also learned it looks like these tracks have properties on them already, but it turns out you can control shift click on them and clear them out if you need to, which is
yes,
lovely.
That was a new thing. Did we learn that in the same?
This is all just me regurgitating stuff that Noseman taught us.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we learn that in the same meeting this week? I think we did.
So yeah, I will add. So please note that I am literally just repeating stuff. I mean, I've played with it some, so I've experienced a teeny bit, but like 1 day's worth compared to this man's like 24 years of Cinema 4D use is what I'm assuming.
Speaking of someone with 20 plus years of experience, Stu Mashvitz is in the chat and is standing this new show called Hashi and the Steep.
Hashi and the Steep.
Wait a minute. Wait. Are we laughing that Stu, when Stu repeats exactly what I say on the show now? That works. Yes. Fine. That's great.
Yep. And Vietas Raucus says 2 pi radians is 360 degrees. So there you go to answer that question.
Exactly. So it's around. So it's, yeah, I don't know. But look at this. Like when we rotate the Raptor's jaw, I think the max we would ever rotate it is maybe 25 degrees, 26. Like I think we had in the Mission Impossible trailer where when he's flying the helicopter straight toward the Indominus Rex, I think it does. We open up the jaw pretty wide.
It opens slowly with a vibration tag, which is what makes everything magical.
It does really make it magical. But back to Hashi and the Steep. Let's take a look at this. Instead of just going straight jaw open to rotation, you could add a node here. You can right click and find them all here, just like you can sort of in the little expression helper thing in After Effects, or you can go over here and say search for something over here. So you can type in whatever type of thing you're looking for. And in this case, I am looking for a range mapper. So I'm going to start typing range mapper. This is
range mapper is one of my favorite nodes in Espresso. It's like the linear expression in After Effects, but with so much more power.
So I couldn't figure this out this morning while I was trying to do stuff with it. So teach me.
All right. So range mapper. It's if in After Effects there are some times where you'll have like a slider that goes from 0 to 100, and you want whatever that result is to affect something else by some different degree than exactly 0 to 100. So what the range mapper does is if I link this jaw open to the input on this and then the output on this to the cube here, if I click on the range mapper, you'll see over here in the attribute menu, it shows me what is happening. And right now, it'll ask you what type of data you have. So for example, we have real data, and the input range is a 0 to 1. It's basically a float, so we're just leaving it as user defined. But the output range, you could say degrees or something like that. And so you're changing what type of output is happening here. Not only that, if I wanted to say degrees, because I'm much more comfortable with degrees, it will now say if the input is anywhere between 0 and 1, which this will always be, the output will then be between 0 and what number. And so I can say here, I don't want the upper limit of this to be 360. That's way too big. I want the upper limit of this to be somewhere like, I don't know. Well, let me first of all scroll to a frame that I know that this is happening properly. So where is a nice wide open mouth? Here we go. So if I go to kind of the max value right here, I can look and see that a closed mouth or a value of 0 for my mouth would be all the way closed, and the upper would be, it says 94 degrees in this case, which is funny because it doesn't feel like 94 degrees to me. Oh, it's because this is a percentage, so my mouth probably isn't all the way open. My mouth is actually, I can even tell you, it is only 65%. Okay, because that looks like 65% of 90 degrees. Did I lose anyone yet?
What? No, I'm good.
So your mouth is 60% open, and then it's just giving you 0 to 100% of whatever numbers you put in. You put in 0 to 90, whatever.
Okay.
Just say yes, Hosh. Hey, Sophia!
Oh, hi, Sophia. Hey.
Sophia's dropping by.
Hey, girl.
Get them on mic.
I wanted to come visit since James wasn't able to make it because he's sick. So I wanted to come and still make this episode a bit more special than the others.
It is so much more special now, Hosh.
More special now that you're here.
Sophia, it is so much more special now that you're here.
We are animating this stapler character. What do you think of our stapler character?
I think it's a velociraptor made of blocks.
Boom.
Hey,
We
I like
can't
that.
help her.
See? It's perfect.
Probably because you have a warning velociraptor sign on your door.
It is true. There's a warning
Yeah,
velociraptors inside sign on my door.
Seriously.
We'll have to submit a... you can leave it there.
I know, seriously, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
So I wanted
You can
to
leave it
pop
there.
in to talk about the Action Movie Kid experience.
Yeah?
Hey, Sophia, can you scoot in just a little bit? There you go.
I remember making so many videos.
Yeah?
hmm
Yeah. See that little box? That's our little box right there.
Sophia,
Let's try and share it.
Sophia, I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Action Movie Kid video?
Definitely.
Which one?
There was one where I asked my dad to help me put on a boot. Then I go into a little winter wonderland. But I'm going to tell you a little secret about that.
Oh, you got exclusive. Let's hear it.
I'm excited.
I actually remember going to that wonderland. I don't remember it being fake. I remember actually going into it.
No way.
I swear.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm looking for it right now. I'm trying to figure out which one it is.
You should probably look up winter or Christmas because it's probably under one of those two.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to
Maybe for the
search
winter
this.
or something like that.
What
Yeah,
was that?
probably.
Searching for window. What was it, Hosh?
Ready for the winter or something like that.
All right. Let's see. There we go. Let's see it.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, my
Yep.
stupid computer won't play it. Okay. I'm going to download it and we'll watch it. Let's keep talking, though. I'm going to download it and we're going to watch it.
So, I remember making so many videos, but in one of the Hascon one that was like the me Hascon, not the James Hascon. I remember using the iPad to code the bell to dance. It was really fun.
Oh, really?
That was a fun time.
Uh-huh.
You are so little here, Sophia.
Yeah, I started Action Movie Kid like pretty much the day I was
Who's
born.
that over to the left there?
The day you were born.
That's Olaf and that's Bert.
Bert?
Oh my gosh.
Bert the polar bear.
Oh, I'm a big
Wait,
fan.
that stuffed bear at the beginning became...
Yeah, like watch carefully and you'll see a stuffed bear. See?
Ooh, is that Bert?
Right there. Right there. Yeah.
Hey, do you still have Bert?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's him. And then look, when you enter here, back where he should be, there's a polar bear. It's crazy.
You're right. So wait, your room doesn't really look like this, or didn't really look? I thought in California your room looked like this.
No, my room didn't look like that.
It didn't? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's obviously in my mom and dad's room.
Obviously, your mom and dad lived in the igloo room. Of course.
Yeah, like theirs was like just behind the camera where you can't see. Just behind the camera.
Oh, smart.
That's where it was.
Nice.
Just behind the camera.
I love this one. This one's very fun.
So, yeah, I remember making so many of them. I actually remember, like, 2 years ago, recording a video. Then, just a few months ago, Dad finished animating it and posting it. So, yeah, that happened a while ago. It's the one where I'm start off climbing a rock wall, but then I'm climbing a mountain. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. That one's great. And then, you know what?
I can't believe my dad can animate this stuff.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah, my dad can't animate this stuff. It's crazy.
Once
Yeah, my dad
I
can't
remember
either.
pretending to like call an animal right by the pool, and I was pretending to call a hippo, and then in the video knocked James off balance and he fell into the pool. It was really funny.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, and we had to do it so many times before we got the acting just right. So it was really funny to just see James keep on falling in the pool.
Look at that. Look at you climbing like that. So you're telling me that the playground, this was in California, right? Or was this on the way to it's Canada?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Yeah, that looks like Michigan to
This
me.
happens in Michigan every now and then.
That's what I
You've gotta
thought.
I can't believe I'm in shorts.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a bold wardrobe choice.
Pro tip, never ever sit on a mountain like I did in that video. Ever.
Why?
Never
What can
do
happen?
that. Because you can get severely injured. That was a smooth rock climbing wall turned into a mountain, but don't do this in a real mountain.
This is a
Don't.
good pro tip, Sophie.
Don't.
Thank you.
From a pro. A very, very pro tip from a pro. I thank you very much. Sophia, do you have a video that you wish your dad would make? Do you have any ideas that you've given your dad and he just hasn't gotten around to it?
Well, I kind of gave an idea to you and my dad.
You did on my movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I really want to do that.
But you can only do it if you get a license, like a license thingy-majig.
A license thingamajig.
Disney.
Yeah, that's right. I have to get a license from Disney. All of your ideas are so cool that they require me to navigate copyright law, Sophia.
My goodness.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that when we do get the
And
whole family in
when-
here.
when
Is
Dad-
getting official permission from Disney and Lucasfilm for
That's true, you guys
When
have
Dad
actually
told me
done that.
about Evil Amber, the first thing that popped into my mind was Amber from Sophia the First, and I thought, Dad, if that's an evil version of Amber from Sophia the First,
That'd be crazy.
like seriously, I can add so much more details. That's just a person with hair. I know how to perfectly make it so it's like Amber, but in those colors. Like I could make it like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited to see when your movie's out.
Sophia,
I'm also excited to see the Mario movie.
Sophia, I'm excited to see the Mario movie and my movie too. Thank you for being interested in my movie as much as the Mario movie, but that Mario movie looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So does yours, Seth?
Yeah, but the Mario movie, it's got Mario and Luigi. And who's your favorite Mario character?
But I'm more excited for yours because I love childish stuff.
Sophia, you are very sweet.
I love it when childish stuff is turned. It has like a scary spin on it to make it creepy yet childish.
That does sound like something you like.
And if you need literally any childish ideas, I will give you an infinite number. Literally.
Oh man.
And I can also make them either like to help them or creepy. Like I can do or creative, just plain old silly, boring dad jokes that'll make your kid literally die of boredom.
Hey, Sophia.
I have a wide variety.
Hey, Sophia, I have an idea, and you tell me if you want to do this. How would you feel if your dad turned you into a raptor on today's show?
I would love that.
Okay, so your dad's got an app. He's going to have to use it. I'm going to let your dad direct you and everything, but you get to come up with the idea of what you do.
Okay, so we are going to record your face.
I have a pretty good idea of this.
Okay, so we're going to record something that's like 10 or 15 seconds. When we're ready, you press I'll start it, and you can talk. You can move your face around. Just don't block your face.
It feels so weird with a net on when I look at this app because it's like there's a net on my face.
Yeah, that means it's working.
Funny how I can just do this and like it doesn't notice.
All right, so
I'm just going to.
Okay, you're closing the door to make sure that we're not making too much noise. Okay, so are you ready?
I can also make pretty good monster sounds.
Let's do it. Do it. Make a good raptor sound here.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I prefer if I can see my face while I'm recording it. That would make me that would make it a bit easier. But this is
you hear that, dev team?
Yeah, it would be easier if while you're recording you can see the raptor on your face.
That's a good point. Well, we'll figure that out next. That will be our next step. And by George, we will have a real-time raptor replacement sometime. Like, we're clearly headed toward that direction.
Dad, none of your names are George. Seriously.
All right.
You don't even know anyone named George.
Yeah.
You don't know anyone named
Who
George.
cares about George? Who needs George?
Into a raptor. Okay, ready? And 3, 2, 1.
I don't know. I do not know much about velociraptors except I have watched a lot of documentaries. Actually, can
I'm going to cut you off right there.
Please tell me you got that.
Can I do Rosie the Red-Nosed Raptor song? Well, I'm a raptor.
Sure, let's do that.
Do it.
Okay. This is going to be it.
My dad's making like a little parody Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it's Rosie the Red-Nosed Raptor.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And I'm going to record it on this as a raptor.
Do it.
So keep your head right where it is. Don't get too close.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
Rosie the red-nosed raptor had a very shiny nose, and if you ever crossed her, she could kill you with her toes. Slice, slice, slice. Like that's literally the whole song.
It's such a good song.
It is.
Like,
It's a great song.
The whole song.
I like the quiet slice slice.
Actually did have very sharp claws on their toes so they could actually murder you with their toes.
They did. The hook toes.
Which is why we're lucky they're not alive right now.
We are lucky that they're not alive right now.
Yeah.
But people who run nail salons probably wish they were, because that would be a lot of work for them.
It would be. Do you think raptors would paint their nails, Sophia?
I think the only color they'd ever paint it was red.
With blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, Sophie, I was thinking the exact same
If you
thing.
want to
I'm so
switch to my
glad.
screen, Seth,
Yeah.
I can show you what happened. When we record Sophia's performance right here, it appears in our Moves by Maxon folder. And you'll see that I have this, previously the I Will Survive Raptor. So I'm going to save this as something different. We're going to call this MBM for Moves by Maxon, and we're going to type Sophia.
Before I came in here, I actually started to watch your guys' show.
Really?
Yeah, this
So
one.
you were like watching a show and then you walked over to the other room and were in the show.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
This is how my son is. My son is, by the way, Sophia. My son Elliot. You remember Elliot? You played with him a few times. He is 15 years old now. He's at high school, and he's texting me from class right now, saying he's watching the show right now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hey, dude.
What's up? We're a family show.
We are.
All right. So check this out, Sophia. Here's your performance. If I double click on that, it'll bring it into here, and you can see that it's called this right now. So we'll rename this one to Sophia. And now...
Wait, no. If it's going to be the performance, I may do it, Sophia. Will she the red-nosed raptor?
Oh, good call.
I mean, Sophia.
Protect that brand.
Will she the red-nosed raptor?
I'm just going to leave it like this for a moment so I can show how relatively simple it is to hook this up.
Okay.
So Sophia's face is in here. And all I need to do now...
That's a weird sentence.
...is I can open up...
That is a very weird sentence.
Those kind of
check
sentences
out
happen on the show a
my
lot.
espresso rig for our Raptor right here.
I love that on the show we have our VFX and Chill sticker logo is above it. This is a branded espresso rig.
It really
makes me
is.
so happy.
This is lovely, and we should find out if I don't know if the Raptor model is redistributable or not. I think it's not, but we're maybe hint working on that. So.
When am I going to see my face as a raptor?
Yeah, win, Hash, win.
Okay, right now.
I'll be a raptor.
I'm
Show
going
us
to drag,
Sophia.
instead of I Will Survive being right here, I'm going to drag Sophia to replace that box. And now it has replaced all of this stuff with what Sophia just performed. And then the only thing that is not linked by me doing that is the constraint tag on the head. So I can go to the constraint tag now. And instead of the face from I Will Survive, I want this face to be the face from Sophia's performance.
At some point, Hash, can you walk through why you need the head to be the constraint tool?
Now can we play
or
it?
tag?
Let's play it.
I'll ask
Ready?
later.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can turn on your sound. Object, play sound. Oh, the sound is... I'm probably not sending sound right now.
I don't think so.
But here we are. And here we go.
It's you.
It's me.
Ah.
So it's that fast now that we have this set up. And what's really fun about Espresso is that you can slowly set up. You can see that this was like a slightly more subdued performance, but you can amplify any of these numbers to make it much more exaggerated.
Dad.
Yes.
Take out the nostrils and put a shiny red ball right there.
Take them out.
Oh, that's
Just for this one. Just cut out the
That's
nostrils.
That's so doable.
Red ball.
So doable.
That's a good point. So let's see.
Smaller.
Live art direction. Okay, let's see. Let's get
Smaller.
it on the nose.
Smaller. Too small.
She's the
Perfect.
embodiment of that.
Are you sure this isn't
Perfect.
a little too on the nose?
Oh.
Dad joke. Dad joke.
Hey, Hash, is this Raptor file anywhere I can find it?
Yes, this should be right in our Raptor Assets 3D.
How are you going to turn the nose red?
MBM Sophia now.
Thank you.
So check that out. Oh yeah, how do we turn it red? I'm going to need your help here. You're going to have to...
You're already on red.
Lighter?
Just drink the
You
saturation.
drag that to somewhere that makes it red.
Uh-huh.
Because I am colorblind, and so instead I'm going to have my child use Cinema 4D because look how easy the interface is. So drag that over and watch for this one to change color.
We have to.
So once you let go, it'll change color. You have to let go.
You also have to apply the material to the.
Oh, whoops!
Hey,
I didn't
you've got
realize
to
we selected.
Yeah, you need to clear out that gradient that's on there first.
Whoopsie! All right, there we go. Let's
That's
put
the right
that
one.
material on there, and now you can go to this. Now you can make this a red nose. I'm sorry.
What did I do?
So
You right click.
use the other clicker. I have my
It doesn't
carpal
fit.
tunnel mouse, which is weirder to navigate.
It doesn't fit my hand.
Drag it.
So use the the highest button on this side. This one up here.
That's the button I was using and it did something weird.
There you go.
Look at it.
Hey, Hashi, did you make this from I Will Survive 04?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Well done, Sophia.
It's perfect.
Yay!
It's perfect.
And then we can
Can
press.
I click the button? Can I click the button?
Not over there. Not over there. That'll log us out of Skype.
What is that? What does that blue thingy?
Oh, that is the playhead, which the old movement in here is a little bit longer.
Dad, do you think you can?
That was so great.
Do you think you could animate it in like a little hand going, like little feet going, like little hands going?
I think we could. It would take me a teeny bit, though.
Yeah, not right now, but eventually.
Hush, this cinema for. Oh, see you, Sophia.
Thank you so much, Sophia.
Bye. Thanks for
Sophia,
stopping by.
everybody.
Woo! Sophia the
Okay, now
first, technically.
I'm so looking forward to a full Action Movie Kids episode where we chat with them because that was fantastic.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Hush,
it
question.
Will be exciting.
Question. So I opened up
Yes.
this file, and there's a little more to it than what we saw before.
Yes, I forgot that I didn't export. I figured we needed to go bigger. Actually, what happened is I started to export the OBJ sequence with that, and it was 40 megabytes a frame, and I was like, that's too much.
Let's see.
But go ahead and delete the body from that, and then you've got a lovely little thing.
I'm trying
All right.
something.
Sorry, I got distracted by our very, very special guest showing up and forgot to mention from the chat, who was it that said it? Someone from the chat was saying that moving sticker up there, that's the VFX and Chill twirling around like that, was being very distracting to them while they were trying to pay attention to Hashi's espresso work.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Robert Brescia says that wavy logo at the top of the screen is very distracting.
I'm so sorry. Here, is this less distracting? Oh, shoot. Sorry. Is this less
no, it's the
distracting? There you go. We'll do the whole show like this, and we won't send you
Love
glasses.
Hang on, I've actually got 3D glasses now. Where'd I put them?
Oh, put them on.
Finally, I can finally do this.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
That's it for today. No, I'm just kidding. Here,
Oh.
put them back on. Here it comes. Look at that.
So cool.
So
cool.
Anyway,
We have fun here.
we do have fun here. Oh, wait, Hush. So walk me through that one more time. So I've got my face mesh in here.
All right, so you've got your face mesh in there. So open up Espresso just by double-clicking on the tag there on the controls. And now all you've got to do is drag the Moves by Maxon object, the one that says like March, like that. Drag that into the box that says I Will Survive. There you go.
And then
Now it's all relinked to all of the pose morphs. And now to link the head, what you want to do is scrub to a frame where the head is sort of in a good default position. So right now, because of the I Will Survive one, it starts with its head down. So you'll want to scrub forward until the Raptor is looking up and sort of centered, like, here. Something like that. And now go to the constraint tag.
Okay.
On the head, and then drag in your mesh. And now, if you want, you can delete the I Will Survive Moves by Maxon bit. And this should all be nicely set up. And you'll see that it's looking up a little bit comparatively. But look at this. That's how fast we can do these now, folks.
So here's the thing that I'm interested in. Well, the camera's all off. Because Moves by Maxon captures video too, with all that transform information. So I'm just thinking I could put a Raptor in place of this video pretty easily, like over my face, in this video. Does that make sense? I was thinking this while you were doing this with Sophia. I was like, you could take the video that it shot and turn her into a raptor, like, pretty easily.
Oh, that's true.
I just got to figure out why the camera. Oh my God! I always do this. I grab something in OBS instead of on my screen. The camera's over here, though.
So you want to find the camera that this was captured from, so you can.
Yeah, I guess it
have the
doesn't send
raptor
that
in the
out,
right
does
place.
it? I guess it doesn't spit one out, does it?
Oh yeah, I guess not.
Well, never mind then.
Well, it'll still have the exact right rotation and everything like that. So as long as you can globally rotate the whole thing and position it, you'd get something really nice. Also, a raptor using a selfie camera, by the way, would be hitting the screen with their nose all the time.
That's true. It totally would.
So I've found that if you need to do any kind of raptor selfie, you've got to have an unrealistically large focal length to be able to see their whole face within there. That was one of the issues with the Snapchat lens that we were trying to make.
Hey, Hosh, guess what I learned from Darren Frankowitz just now?
What did you just learn?
Control click, and you can drag these things. It was
control click.
Yeah. And if you'll see here, I did a little something.
You did a little something. Look at this. Look at this beautiful
I did it all wrong.
Espresso.
I did it all wrong, of course, but I was able to create wiggles, basically noise on elements so that there's automatic animation happening on this face.
Nice.
Beautiful. So yes, you can add, it is just called a noise node, right?
Yeah, so, well, I did this wrong, so I'm curious, I'm sure Michael or you will teach me how to do it the right way. What I did was I couldn't figure out how to have, okay, so I have these, here, let me just maybe do this. I have
just so you all know, it has been requested from the top brass that I put out a Cheap Tricks that goes over all of these in a nice, orderly fashion.
So I'm sure you'll get it. Don't worry. I've got these controls here, these pose morphs that were created that allow me to, animate between these different. But we talked about pose morphs, I think, on the show or on Office Hours. On the show.
I think on the show for Baby Yoda originally.
That's right. And so the thing is, I wanted to be able to adjust this percentages and have noise on the layer. And I was finding when I was applying noise to the layer, it was not taking into account any controls I did here. So after some messing around, I came up with my own hack for it, but I'm curious I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. What I did was I got a math add node, basically adding basically what would be a slider or a level to the noise. And then I made that level, I put that here on my HUD here. And so I can adjust the level of the effect that will be added to the noise that I already have happening on top of it.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Okay.
And so, yeah, brilliantly solved.
Oh, well, I'm just sitting on the shoulders of geniuses here.
We really are. And yeah, that's the advantage. That's the Maxon promise, is that there's always someone.
There will be geniuses, and on top of them will be us.
So,
speaking of standing on the shoulders of geniuses and Maxon and whatnot, in the chat right now is a link to the Intro to Rigging a Cinema 4D Part 1. It's part of the Hands-On with Maxon tutorial series, which is where they take you from basically zero to hero, and that's how to get started with rigging, which is basically what Hashi and Seth are doing now with Espresso and whatnot. So it starts you on the very basics for how to start rigging whatever, maybe a table lamp, and the whole series works you through all the way up to doing humans. So it's a good way, really good way for you to kind of get yourself a good kind of foundational knowledge. It's 4 sessions, I believe. They're all about 2 hours long, so you can really kind of dive deep into it. But I would love, Hashi, to see you do a nice Cheap Tricks on quick moves by Max on character rigging like this, because it's so handy and so fast.
I will for sure. So, Seth, if you want to switch back to me for a second, I will show that. So earlier we came up with this where we're taking the jaw open blend shape percentage and giving it to a range mapper and outputting a rotation, which is really cool. So this is one way you can use this data to drive an actual rig. So if this were, instead of just an actual cube, it might be a bone or something in your rig that already exists for something. And you can use the range mapper to basically say what you want that number to be interpolated to, which is really great. But what if you wanted to do more expressive stuff like we were doing with Baby Yoda or the Velociraptor? For those, you would need these pose morphs and these. I keep on calling them pose morphs. What do we call them? We also call them
Pose
Pose morphs.
Pose morphs. Oh, blend shapes and pose morphs. I keep on using those interchangeably.
Well, what are the differences? What are the differences?
Both are, the recording of a vector displace of specific points of a mesh. So when you're talking about blend shapes for faces, it'll be like,
none of that.
How much are the eyebrows up overall, and within that, how much is this eyebrow down comparatively? And you sort of, when you blend all those things together, you end up with an expression. So I think that I would like to show people what we did next with the Raptor. And with the Raptor, it was that we were able to go into, let's see, I will hide this nose for a moment. Actually, why do I need to hide? I don't need to hide the nose. But I'm going to reveal the Raptor's geometry. Where is it? Down here. You'll see this little tag right here. And this is my pose morph tag. And you'll see that I've created a whole bunch of pose morphs on this Raptor because this Raptor is very important to me, that it can express itself in a lot of ways. So if I select this and click on the tag and say edit mode, I'll switch to I think I have another camera back there. So what I did is when you add this tag, where did it go? This pose morph tag to something. I believe that it's up here under, what is it under? Is it under?
Pose morph tag is under tags. Over
it is. There is a tag here.
Yeah.
Is it under
rigging?
Rigging, pose morph. There we go. So then when you've added this, you'll see this little menu right here that has a toggle between edit and animate. When you're on animate mode, you can see all of the shapes that you've created and have a little slider for them all. So you can slide something like this up and down. For example, like I can say scared eyes. So look at that Raptor getting worried. Or angry brow. Grr. Mad. So this was a lot of fun to do. And it may feel tedious at first, but it's actually a lot of fun. So fun that I think we should find another model and quickly do that. Create some of these so people can see how you would go about creating something like this. So again, in edit mode, you can see all of your different shapes. So if I click through these, we have the base pose, we have lip close amount, we have a bunch of different things for all these expressions. But let's import an object and try doing that in this case over here. The stapler is wonderful, but he is limited in performance in terms of what you can see. So let's go to, what should I do? Should we go to the browser? Do we have characters in here?
Yeah, we have fully posed
animal
stuff in there, I think.
Let's see. I want to find some, or maybe let me look up tune or cartoon.
What are you trying to look? What are you looking for? There's mice. You could have mouse. There's a bunch of, there's Flavio. that green creature, that Shrek-y looking creature. It's named Flavio, I believe.
Flavio, that's lovely. Wait, let me see this raccoon. I don't know. I don't know if this is. It's a scene, so it might have. Oh, this is all rigged up already.
And it's great.
It's a very cool rig. I've seen this rig.
Oh, that's amazing. So, what is this? Okay, don't have time to figure out this rig. So, I'm going to. I want to show how to do this from a mesh. Should I just use Baby Yoda again?
Obviously.
All right. So let's merge project with Yoda was in the Mandalorian episode. Elements. 3D stuff. Baby Yoda stuff. I'm so good at naming things. Baby
I love
Yoda
that when Sophie was here, she was like, name it. You should always name your things.
You should always name your thing. All right, so here we go. We've got this Grogu model. I'm going to scale it down. Let's hide the asset browser. So we can show you sort of what I did the other day. So we've got this Yoda, and we could do basically the same thing where we could copy the constraint tag over. Let me find out if I'm pretty straight at the beginning. Then I can copy the constraint tag from the null here to Baby Yoda there. Oh, whoops, I forgot. Let's see. I guess I should have frozen its transform first.
I don't want us to get too far along before I point out Frigby Chillweather is complaining that the stapler's performance is too stationary.
Well done.
Seth, where did you and the dad jokes drop go? Two great opportunities to use it today.
Right here.
You've missed both of them. There we go.
Sorry,
Amazing.
I was trying to facial capture some random monologues. I'm having trouble.
Let's see.
Hashi, I think for this Grogu head, we should use some inverse kinematic bone link structures to make the ears automatically flop around.
Kinematic bone
That's a
link.
great idea.
But mix in some pose morph stuff with it too. That's more. I think that'd be more for another episode. We've only got 30 minutes left in this one. We got to get through this workflow first, but I do want to try that out at some point because I think that would be great. Because you want it to bounce around with the motion, but you also want to be able to control it for emotive and emoting purposes. So, someday I would like to do that, but today's not that day.
I have two other special guests.
Oh, yay!
Gray
Hello,
Bear
special guests.
and White Bear. They just wanted to say hi to everybody. Gray Bear and White Bear belong to Sophia.
I was like, Hosh, Way, what's up?
Well, my bears wanted to be on the show because they heard I was on the show. So my bears say hi.
What's up, Bears?
My bears like velociraptors.
They do?
They also like Baby Yoda.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, someone even literally wrote a song about Baby Yoda.
Was it this song?
True.
That doesn't like Baby Yoda.
Oh, wait, was it this song?
No, that was not one.
No, it's Baby Yoda. It's called Baby Yoda by Chewy Cat.
Does it go like this?
CC ball action.
Nope. Okay. Well, too bad.
She's like, you're so wrong.
Well, it's called Baby Yoda by Chewy Cat.
Oh, let's see. I think I have a button for that. Is it this?
No.
No? Okay, let's listen to the whole thing to make sure. Oh. Is it this one?
That's my favorite one.
These are all really silly.
They're all really silly. What about this one? No? Okay, last try.
Track it.
No.
No?
What?
It's Baby Yoda by Chewy Cat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Justin
think I have
LeDuc says, this is literally bullying, and I'm reporting this live stream. Christopher Frono says, I always love CC ball action. My favorite's probably Field Force. It's probably my favorite one. For a couple of reasons. One, that's cool. But second, Field Forces are amazing. I love fields. Oh my gosh, Hashi. It's like a singing trio going on there.
This is the
It really is.
weirdest
it's like
Chuck E.
the Haunted
Cheese
Mansion somehow,
stage.
but even weirder. It's so lovely.
And Spark says this music is not for Zoomers. Yeah, we know.
All right. So earlier we were talking about
we were doing something productive.
How to create blend shapes for something. And we sort of figured it out during the Mandalorian episode. But basically it is this. You select the mesh that you want to do your pose morph on, and then you add this tag. You can right-click and say rigging tags pose morph, and that will give you this. So under here, I'm going to click over to edit. Oh, it's it looks like a character in and of itself.
It does.
All right, I'm going to need to create a camera for. It's going to the original mesh. I forgot to reset the transformation, so we're going to have to jump all the way out to here, which I kind of like. Like this is sort of like introspective and interesting, you know. But anyway, let's create a camera that. This is a silly way to do this, but here's a camera here, and then we'll add a different camera that is for our trio over here, just so I can switch between them. So here, let's select that mesh again and select the tag and go into edit mode. So
I would like to point out the reason it's gotten so big like this is the pose morphs let you work on the undistorted mesh. So since Hosh scaled it down to do whatever he was doing, it became technically distorted. But pose morphs, you definitely always want to work on the undistorted mesh. So it pops it to, when you're in the pose morph and whatnot, it pops it to the correct undistorted.
And what I could have done when I rescaled everything is I could have gone up to Tools, Axis, and Reset Scale, and I did not think to do that. So so that's how you could avoid that in the future. But instead, I'm just going to set up two cameras because. So if you want to see what all of these blend shapes are again, I can highlight the face. I can click on Blend Shapes here. And then if I want, I can say, click on this little button, which is pop out a copy of this. And so now I have a little copy that is locked. So I can see all of this stuff right here. And I can kind of remember what are the types of blend shapes that are here. And I don't know if I want to create something for all of these, because it's a lot. But I do want to for a good number of them that will be the most important. Anyway, so let's take a look at some of these properties. I'm going to move this off screen just so I'm not taking up real estate. But I think the jaw open amount is important. And I do already have one blend shape for that. You can see it's right here, mouth open. And this is the 0 to 1 right here. So that exists, and it's called mouth open right here. And if I want, I could rename it to jaw open, sort of match. And then let's look at some other things. We've got, how about brow down left and brow down right? I feel like those are good to try to copy emotion over. So really easy. We can start with a base pose, and then we say add a pose. And I'm just going to bring in my mesh brushes right here, which are under mesh tools. But I like to have them stuck right there. So let's go to object 1. Let me rename this to face or Yoda face. I know it's Grogu face. Sorry. And I'm just going to use the grab brush. And it's great because I can say we want, what did we want? We wanted the brow. Sorry, I'm. Oh, brother. Okay. So we went to the base pose, we clicked add pose, and we can rename this brow right down. And so we'll go over to the right brow and just do that. That looks enough like if this brow side were to move down. And then you can move this slider back and forth to see kind of what that does. And I like to kind of make it so if you're doing a blend shape and you use the grab tool, you can use it's one of my favorite ways because you can just really it's like the liquefy brush. You can just very cartoonishly do something. But if you want it to be really serious about it, when the brow goes down, you can be conscious of some things like what muscles are happening to pull the brow down and maybe add a little bit of extra coming up from the forehead or whatever. Doesn't matter. But there's the brow right down, and now I can snap back to the base pose and say add another pose, and we'll call this the brow right down. And I'm sure that there's a way that I could have done that. To have copied this so I could do it symmetrically. But what'll be kind of nice is that if I'm creating these all from scratch, they're going to have a slightly varied output. So here's this brow. Oh, did I call this right as well? Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Yes, when you're doing character rigging, it's always good to name your right and left, not your right and left as you look at the character, but name it the character's right and left, because the animator is always, you never know where the camera is going to be in the scene. It could be behind, it could be in front. So right and left, if you're doing it from the camera view, is going to be quite relative. So always name it to the character's right and the character's left.
Precisely. So now that we're generally done with that, I'm going to get out of edit mode and click on animate mode. And then we're going to just get out of, let's see, what have I done? Are all my, not doing the constraints was a mistake, or not. I feel like I've done something bad by having it. My Yoda face is too big now. No, I was showing this off so well a second ago, I thought.
It's okay. Keep going. You'll do this.
Wait, so what happens if I scale that down? Does it lose the pose morphs? I don't remember. How big is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be here. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if I've messed it up forever. Edit. Yeah, okay, so the pose morphs have the scale mixed into them. Whoops.
Oh no.
In that case, I'm just going to see what happens now. So this will play and the whole thing is moving around. Okay. It's much bigger. That's fine. Sometimes we have unrealistic scaled characters. So what I'm going to do. Oh, this is so embarrassing, everybody.
No, it's not embarrassing.
All right, so let's just move this group over here, and we'll just focus on just the pose morph thing that we were trying to do. So we have this Espresso editor, which is neat, and it's very simple right now. It's just the face, jaw, adding to the rotation of that thing. But we want to make some Baby Yoda Espresso now. So we have our face in here, and we have the jaw open amount. So I'll leave these linked up to the stapler over here. And I could create a whole new X group, I guess. But instead, I'm just going to do it all in one big thing. So for the face, I want to grab some of the blend shapes. I want to grab the brow down left and brow down right.
Everybody brow down.
Brow down, everybody.
Julian Kin, our chat says it Grogu. And Enya Wed Black says Grogu's face looks sad.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll add some smiling stuff to this in a moment. So now that we have Yoda face dragged in here, we can access the blend shapes just like this right here. They should be under. Oh no, it's not the Yoda face thing. It's the I'm deleting that. What I meant to do is I meant to drag the tag in here, because the tag, whatever you click on and it shows the properties here that you want to edit, that's what you drag into Expresso. So in this case, I want to drag this tag into here. All right. So pose morphs from Yoda. And that will allow me to have in this blue menu right here, basic or tag properties, the blink strength, and a whole bunch of others. In fact, if I just reveal them over here, I can do this just like we were talking about before. I can drag these right over to the little blue button and add new ports for all of this stuff. I don't think I need the ears because I like your idea, Michael, for the ears. So what have we got? We got 20 minutes left. Let's do a very straightforward linking up of the brow down on the left to that one and the brow down right to this one. And now the jaw open strength, let's link that to the jaw open amount also. And what's really fun about this interface is that you can visually organize this in whatever way makes sense to you to try to keep it clean. You can keep it messy. If you want, you can double click on one of these and make it into a smaller bit so you don't need to see all of the connections if you want. I like trying to organize it.
You can control a double click and it makes it like fit.
Oh, that's very handy.
Isn't that neat?
Thank you, Michael. Look at that.
You're welcome.
Make them just the right size.
I often find that, especially when I'm using a lot of range mappers and stuff, I usually have my driving thing on the left taller so that there's more space between the wires for the extra things I'm doing, because I'll sometimes have 2 or 3 nodes kind of on top of each other visually, and then smaller. But anyway, I was just you can organize these how you want is the point.
It is the point. So up here is where I'm going to put
something I forgot to mention earlier that I want to make sure you mention at some point is the range mapper node. Besides just letting you do a straight 1-to-1 relationship between the 0 and 1, or whatever your numbers you're going between are, there's also the ability to affect that output with a spline. I will show it off next time you're in the Expresso tag.
Oh, whoops. Oh, the constraint tag is rotating from where the old little head was. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, we're deleting this constraint tag. I'm so sorry, everybody. Sorry you had to see that.
It's okay.
Let's rotate this object around. Let's how do we want to do this? If I group these and scale them up, will they find themselves again? They will. That's great. So let's put that right here. All right, here we go. So let's hope that this Yoda will maintain for a second. All right, so what should be happening is this Yoda should be copying my facial expressions, which is pretty cool. And you'll see they're not great. Like, I'm not opening my mouth very wide until the end there, and my pose morph for the mouth open isn't very dramatic. But already this is really cool, and you can do this with a model in like really under an hour, just adding a bunch of different little expressions and then linking them in Expresso to the other. And you can see, like, I've revealed that this the blink amount every now and then gets a little bit messed up. I think that I actually have keyframes on the blink amount, because I don't think that did I link the blink to stuff? Did I link the blink?
Link the blink.
I didn't link the blink, but I could. Like, if I assumed that I wanted to always blink at the same time, I could go to the left eye blink and always link that to the blink strength. And then if I play through, there we go. Now there's a lot more life in here.
I do want to point out that there is a Maxon Moves Pose Morph helper tag that you can put on any polygonal object you have, and it can automatically create pose morphs for you, and you can calibrate it, and you can bake stuff down with it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
This I need to hear about. What are you talking about, crazy person?
Talk about it some more.
It's a pose morph tag.
Hmm.
What is it under? Rigging?
Don't
Oh wait,
know
is this not
offhand.
what you're using? I've been using pose morph tags. It's
Where
under.
is it at?
Hang on.
Moves by Maxon pose morph helper.
There it is.
What?
That's the one. Yeah.
So if I put one of these on here, for example,
Look, so you put in your capture object, which is your thing. You put in your espresso tag. You can put in your pose morphs, and it can build stuff up for you. It's very handy.
face capture, my espresso is this one, and the pose morphs come from.
The tag is designed to help you set up an espresso tag to drive the strength of the pose morphs on your model from the blend shapes. And then those
Gotcha.
things,
So
instead of manually setting up the stuff, you can just.
Oh, so if I dragged this into here, what it would be doing is.
You can create all pose morphs. There's a button to create all pose morphs. I mean, you'd probably want to start it from scratch, not from something partly started, just as a heads up.
So yeah, so from this tag, you could say, create all pose morph tags. Look at that beauty.
Sheesh. But
That
yeah,
is great.
so it does it all automatically for you, and then you can
What?
adapt. Then you can adapt the parts that need adapting, or leave the ones alone that you don't need to mess with.
Well, dang.
But yeah, isn't that handy?
This looks incredible. This looks like it would not be legal to teach in the state of Utah, but
Frigby Chillweather is asking, is there any kind of reference for the moves by Maxon blend shapes? There is. That link is in the chat now.
Thank you, Michael. Because I honestly have been very interested in this for a long time and not been able to make any headway until this week. And honestly, just understanding that the blend shapes, once again, live right here on this object. And if you drag them into Espresso, you can access them all like that. That's basically the hint that I needed.
What's under that extra data tab, Hashi? Does it have Does it have things like the eye direction, perhaps?
That is true. If I go over here and say extra data, you can go to eye tracking and look at where the eyes are facing. You can get their rotation, or you can get what it has resolved as the look at point.
Does it also help you find out where the light in the scene is coming from that you captured?
That would be interesting. So the lighting direction in the scene that I captured was this many lumens and coming from this direction.
Huh.
Michael,
Seriously, though,
it feels like you know the answer to these questions. Yeah, it feels like you know all the answers to these questions you're asking.
So basically, this wealth of data that you can get from a capture, I feel like, is very valuable. I mean, you could do a cute Baby Yoda situation. You could do a crazy Velociraptor with a Ghostbuster weird. I don't even know what the body was from. It was called like look at this.
What is that?
That's so cool. We've got everything. Just is everything
Ghostbusters, Doctor
all
Who.
at once. I just wanted like a scanned like body to put on this.
So cool.
And I actually did do some slight rigging up of the body so it would move around.
Seth, I will say someone else, Hopali, says the VFX banner tag is also annoying them.
Good. Add it to the list. I'm excited.
We're going to see if we get the high score.
Seth,
Yeah.
would you replace it with an unanimated smudge of a removed sticker
Oh, that's a fun
with like
idea.
torn paper?
That's a very fun idea.
You asked for it, everyone. All right. So now that we're getting to the end of this stream, again, we're excited to sometime get all of Action Movie Family on here. We'll be able to do it sometime as soon as either it's summertime and the Fridays are off, or we find out that there's another Friday off of school like today was. And as soon as that happens, I will check with their schedules and try to get them on here. But otherwise, we dove into Moves by Maxon, which again is an app on your phone. You can record your body dancing around or your face performing and bring those right into Cinema 4D, where you have access to all this crazy amount of data. You
The
could
link
map
about
it.
it is in the chat. Link in the chat.
Link in the chat. You can grab all of this stuff and apply it to a Velociraptor like we did today. And this is all my whole Espresso rig. Now that we've all talked about what Espresso does, you can see that it's pretty similar. Like I just have all of these are just blend shapes that are straight one-to-one kinds of things. And then for some of these, I do have some formulas in here. So, for example, the mouth funnel shape, that is when your lips come forward to go f. And pucker is when they come together to p, to touch. And so I'm using both of those, adding them together, and then range mapping them to control the pose morph that I made that looks just like the lips sort of coming together and the cheeks puffing out. And that worked well. Same thing for the blinks. There's a blink, a squint, and an eye wide. And this part, I wanted to use all of this data to drive just one shape, which is how open are these eyes or not. And so I added a formula block. And you can find all of these things just by typing in stuff over here. Formula is a great one because it's really similar to working in After Effects with expressions, because when I click on the eye formula, you can see right over here, this is my formula. It is the blink plus squint minus wide minus extra. And it's a really straightforward formula. You can check this box that says use the port names right here. And then you can write an expression. So if I realized that I like the way the eye blink works, but the eye squint is a little bit too much every time, you could add a modifier in here to say, like, use only 0.5 of the blink strength. And just like in After Effects, if you were writing a formula. Oh, who do we got here?
Use those.
Thank you.
Or you could use a range mapper node and have some extra control. Oh, look at that.
Grogu to talk. And here's where this ended up from last we spoke. This is the spoke Mando helmet. Thank you. Oh, I can hold on to these? Oh, nice. I don't remember if I fit in this one because it was made to be kid-sized.
Perfect.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of it's like a RoboCop DeLorean.
It is like RoboCop.
So,
Jason Murphy says that this episode
really elegantly summarizing what we covered today. But yeah, don't be afraid to jump into Moves by Maxon, find this data, and start mapping stuff together. I'm going to try to organize cheap tricks that takes you through this general process. But I'm sure that there are many things that you can find out and discover on your own now that you know where to start. I mean, this is so much fun. I can't believe we can have these, like this is a minute-long performance of this Velociraptor that played at the top of the show.
It's utterly ridiculous.
Like, basically, now that this work is done, and mind you, this is all work done over, 3 days, Seth? I mean, 65 million years in the making.
Pretty ridiculous.
But
yes.
Chomp.
Chomp.
He's gonna get him.
He's gonna get him. He's gonna get him.
He's dancing. But anyway, I feel like that's what I've got to offer for the show today. I mean, and this is a lot of fun. I will summarize it in the cheap tricks in the best way that I can think how. If you have any questions that you think would be good for me to add to that cheap tricks episode, put them in the comments or put them in the chat. Add whatever you can, because I'll be making this over the next couple weeks and trying to include what I can to teach people how to do this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. Jason Murphy says that this is making them want to add a CG character to the next movie, and they're going to blame us when they regret how many shots they have to do.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
That's exactly the position Seth is in at the moment. Is he's having to deal with CG character in his movie?
Not just one, but several.
Make it a Velociraptor, and then you're set.
It's true. Sorry, I'm a little preoccupied trying to fix the show for our complainers here.
I think
we've got eight minutes left in the show if we really want to make it less distracting for them.
Yeah, let's do that. So what else can I add? Let's see. Copy.
All right. So one thing that I was thinking about when it came to this is that I was noticing that there are some of the blend shapes that I made are silly shapes. There are some good discussions about this when the all CG Lion King remake came out a while ago. That it is silly to call it the live action one because it is all computer generated except for one shot. So one of the issues with it was that the cartoon characters animated by the amazing Disney artists, when translated to these very realistic animals, like lose a bit of the expressiveness that they could have, and you have to try to make up for that with staging and the vocal performance and hope that it comes across in the same way. Which, up to you how you feel about it. One thing that I have in there, Seth, and I actually think is a cool addition, is on the Raptor mesh. I added a little jiggle and a delay modifier.
Nice.
The delay is in the effectors thing up here, and the jiggle is right here, I think. I don't remember if delay is here, too. I just didn't see it. Oh, delay is right here. There we go. So what that can do is, I don't know if my screen is playing fast enough, but let me play this. This is just straight data coming from the performance. So there are some points where blend shapes will snap very quickly from one to the other, as you can see here.
Hashi, to be honest, it's very, very hard to see.
There we go. Let's put it right here. Now you can see. But if you add something like a delay tag, you can choose a blend option and turn the strength of it up. I have it so it's on deformer. The point is enabled because these are all just little points being moved around, I think is how it works. So now what's happening is it is slowly like smoothing between some of the fast ones. And another interesting thing you can do is spring, which is making it so all of the points as they move are having to spring around and land back, and you can kind of end up with a more cartoony, bouncy version. Like here we go, something like this. Down here, there we go. I think this is a good camera angle to go with our current layout. Maybe right around here. Can we not end the stream today? We'll just go on for the next 20 hours, and people have to choose when they say a game of. We'll just play a game of chicken with everybody.
Adrian Jensen from Custom Collectibles says they impressed their bosses by doing a CG character when they weren't even asked to, and now they regret how much the bosses liked it. Indeed.
Oh no! Don't let people at work know that you can do things.
Yeah. Once they're like, oh, hey. Leduc says, this does not relieve my annoyance with the sticker. Please remove the sticker. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we can remove that sticker probably.
The sticker, yeah.
I think they just mean to turn off the sticker layer, Seth.
Sure. Hold on. Let me see. Does this do it? Does that do it?
Perfect.
No, let me move that out of the way. Hang on. Maybe this will do
closer.
it. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Let me move this out of the way. Maybe this will do it. Ah, crud. Let me move this out of the way. Maybe this will do it.
Frigby Chillweather says, this is now like the Ready Player One spam. Indeed.
You mean the whole movie of Ready Player One? Nope, just kidding. What? And There, I think I fixed it. Is that better for everybody?
It's a lot easier to see the interface now.
Good.
This is good. Branding is really important because what if you see a clip from the show and you're like, where did that come from?
Where did that come from? Now people will know. This
Now
is
people
definitely
will
a
know.
thumbnail for the show, too. If you could have it animated in a loop just doing this.
Absolutely. Hash, I'm sorry, I covered you more than I should have. Let me see if I can.
No, I don't mind.
I feel like Mike Wazowski
then...
in Monsters Inc. There we go.
Now we can see everybody.
I'm going to pretend I'm the one feeding Pedro.
Well, I guess that's our show for this week. Sorry, I kind of went off the rails. If you can tell.
I wouldn't say this is off the rails. I'd say this is we're a graphic design show. We're teaching slick UI designs
and how to lead the eye, how to lead the eye through a composition.
Yes, see, like notice how your eyes go immediately to the close X on your browser.
To the next video button.
So much fun. But Seth, could we have our Raptor sing us out?
I think we can.
Yes,
Give
we
me
do
just a
need to
second. Yeah, absolutely. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to make sure that happens for us.
You know, I'm so glad that today is my first day of having Adderall because
welcome.
I feel like nothing's changed.
This is what our brains are like.
With wonderful focus.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I guess that is it for the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. By the way, we are live randomly throughout the week on our show Office Hours. What was the name again? It was, where'd my drop go? It was, I lost the drop. We had a show called, There it is.
There we go.
So join us for Office Hours whenever you can. It's a lot of fun. And
also tune in on Wednesday. Maxon and Red Giant and Red Shift may have some things to talk to you about on Wednesday too. So keep an eye on the social media channels for all of those things.
Absolutely.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. So if we talk about stuff on Wednesday, then maybe you'll see some of us talk about it on Thursday and then maybe on Friday.
Indeed.
All right.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking